And I didn't.
Get it?
You won't ding. YouTube won't ding us. Won't ding us. No more. No. YouTube won't ding us. Won't ding us. No more. Suck it. For those watching, nobody. I need the chat link, please.
I already gave you the chat link.
The most professional show in vaping, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a 1-week vacation hiatus, whatever you want to call it, sabbatical of the Plumes of Hazard. I'm MassBlast09, and these are my not so well rested co-host.
Seriously, dude, it's our I know we took the week off, but holy fuck, I think we're all tired as shit tonight.
We have looking dapper-licious, dapper Fubaka. And someone who drinks out of bulging cans. The Exful Vapor.
Suck on that soup can.
I was hoping that thing was gonna freaking blow up.
I was hoping it would.
You're living in a dangerous world.
The danger zone.
You're living in the danger zone.
Highway to
man, what's happening? What's happening? How was everybody's vacation away from these hooligans weekend? Hopefully good.
I did absolutely
Memorial Day.
I did absolutely amazing.
Memorial Day, aka you should be paying your respects, but it's actually barbecue and beer day.
The people to whom you are paying respects, that's the kind of shit they like.
Actually,
I did one for me and one for my homies. So
that's what
Actually, I didn't do nothing. I went out for dinner. It was my brother's birthday. That's what it was.
True.
And then we had a ice cream cake with sorry, Mast, but Baskin Robbins, Jamaica Almond Fun.
Fuck you. Why do you have to know?
Shut the fuck up.
Fucking rub it in now.
I said it's like saying no homo before you.
That's like me saying, I put
Dude, the screen was still on him when you muted, and we got the face. The face.
All right, we got the meme.
Okay.
You're gonna make me look for that picture, aren't you? I don't feel like going looking for the freaking picture.
When was the last time you saw
the one
TNT,
where you drew in my teeth?
Dynamite. No, the Allah Snackabar one. Did I draw in your teeth? Oh.
Yeah, you drew in my teeth. You drew the dynamite on me. You put TNT in my forehead, I think.
How awesome would it be for you to play that for for the episode for Halloween?
I don't know, man.
And then maybe
the mask is still in play.
And then maybe we could get Choreo Gerber knife Mercury to come in with the box, jumping up and down.
As soon as you said Choreo, I knew where you were going with it.
I mean, what's his name now?
Anyways,
the Busta?
Anyways, if you're watching, we love you and we miss you, Corey.
He's not watching.
I don't know.
We're not on Twitch. He ain't watching us on.
Yeah, maybe we should. I don't know. You got somebody like who the fuck is John Nathan? Somebody like our boy from Evolve watching this. Yeah, no, that wrong one.
Oh.
So, Fu, what you vaping on?
Right now, we are
right at it.
This is a dirty bitch, so I'm vaping on this right now. You know what's in here.
Vaping on a dirty bitch. Damn, son.
No, it is a dirty. We ain't talking right now. You're not staying on my mouse pad. You're staying on the bare disc. Got the KFun 5 on the 250 seat beta. thing, and I got pissed in here. And then dangling from I can barely get in frame with the USB cord. It's plugged into my computer. Soaring with fluid. Boom.
Wait, did you say with fluid?
No, dong fluid.
Oh, I thought you were vaping on sarin with fluid.
Ugh.
No, I'm vaping.
That shit'll kill you.
No, I'm vaping on cream of Sauron.
All right.
The
Sauron's cream.
Sauron dog fluid.
Sauron's cream. That just doesn't sound very well. It sounds like something they make in that Creepy Creamy lab. Hey, that would actually be a good juice name.
What?
Creepy Creamy?
Creepy Creamy with K's.
As long as it's not like a donut shape or something.
Or the color, right? The green from Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
They use that green in the letters. Yeah. You know, so many people are so like, you know, disheartened when they find out that there's an actual Krispy Kreme in town that you can go get fresh donuts at, but they'd rather get them at, you know, 7-Elevens or wherever the hell they're
Hey,
selling.
yeah, the 7-Eleven glaze is very underrated. Just saying.
Dude, there's a
7-Eleven here actually carries Krispy Kreme, but they're like day olds or something. It's like,
yeah. I don't know how in you guys' area, probably in New York. I mean, in Dallas, in Fort Worth, there might be some too. But there's been a lot of donut. I guess you could call them boutique donut shops, where they're making these like fancy ass donuts. Somebody at work during the National
not
Donut
area, but in the city, absolutely. Yeah,
we had a work meeting, and obviously they're not going to serve ice cream. So they brought in donuts, and because that's kind of like, you don't eat where you shit or shit where you eat, whatever.
Like
and
you
can't be just eating ice cream in the middle of a meeting like that. But anyways, they
especially
brought donuts.
Like one person's a slurper with their ice cream. Because by the time the ice cream gets brought in the service, it's already a little runny. There's gonna be that one person who slurps in the meeting.
And there's one of the guys has like a straight up Gandalf beard, like down to here. So he already knows he's gonna get shit. He's gonna get shit in it. No. We would have stainless steel 508, 354 handles that you can pull, and you have special adapters that you can put in, so it automatically comes out in different shapes: stars, circle. It looks like you took a poop. It also would dispense little coins that you can put in your belt. So if that was the case, it would be hand stamped ice cream. But anyways, they brought donuts in from this place called Love Bugs, and there's some funky ass donuts in there. But the maple bacon one was probably the best.
I was about to say, if they didn't have a maple bacon, I would be surprised if they didn't have a maple bacon one in there.
Dude, and it was good. It was really good. So, and what we did was, because we're not gluttons, they give you a little spatula that you can cut, little pieces of each donuts that you want to try. It's actually kind of neat. And, you get your taste.
Whoa! There's an inappropriate amount of Krispy Kreme bashing going on over there.
Whoa!
I just fucking appreciate it. Y'all need to knock that shit off.
Fucking good gourmet donuts where they make them special by making them out of cheesecake and bacon. Yeah, but you know what? That's always been my thing. When people mention that. 4,700 calories, you're right, and 7.6 of butter, but that's what people fucking want.
Yeah, well, it's addictive, right? Sugar and fat, that's what your body craves.
Yeah, so give it what it craves.
If you have never had a proper Krispy Kreme donut where the light is on and they're coming out the fat going through the waterfall, you have not lived, because it is the best glazed donut in the world. Sorry, those Dunkin'. Yeah, I know people like those, but it's not as good. So what I am vaping on would be a Limelight Freehand S Gloom edition.
Donut flavored?
Not donut flavored. There is a real cracker in here, clearly. On top of here, there's a new atomizer, which we will be talking about. And on top of here is something else new, which we will also be talking about. Inside of here, we normally don't talk about this, but inside of here, I've got one of these guys that we mentioned. I think I mentioned this last week. We're going to talk about them a little bit more later, but that's been obviously my primary gear. And because somebody last week reminded me, whose name escapes me at the moment, but I did rebuild the old billet box. I have not used this thing in probably a month, just because I hadn't rewicked it. It needed to be rebuilt. I just hadn't fucking got around to it. But inside of here is its abolishment, but there's also a whiff of get pissed in there because, well, I really like that little mix. And I think that it does. Oh, inside of there is firing that as an exoset, obviously.
True. What up to Tho Bai? He's saying cheers from Berlin.
Oh.
You know, I actually got to see a 7-foot section of that wall. They have it at the museum in DC. I think it's one of the biggest preserved pieces from the Berlin Wall, and that was pretty interesting. So,
I believe I think it's Tomas. I think that's what his name was from a couple weeks ago. So there's nothing wrong with having the fancy donuts. I feel like that was a thing like in 2014, like that became like a real trendy thing to have.
Better than cupcakes though. Like fancy cupcakes are man.
Yeah, well, it's a pain in the ass to eat.
I'm shifting the conversation to something better, which are croissants.
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
Croissant. Yeah, a proper croissant.
In all forms, like chocolate, almond, regular. Like fuck me, dude. I have like a very weak spot for croissants.
I have never been to France for which to have a proper ones. I assume somebody in the comments is going to say, well, if you haven't had one in France, you never had one. I've had some very freshly baked ones that were very tasty. I do agree. So there's something, speaking of donut shops and speaking of croissant, there's a thing in Texas, and I've traveled around and lived in quite a few different places, and there's the center strip of Texas from like here, starts a little bit south of here, it goes way down south is the hill country of Texas, and they're not mountains, nobody's pretending, it's hills, but the people that reside there historically were German in descent. So that's where we get chicken fried steak, which is a variant of a schnitzel. And one of the other things we have are sausage rolls that all the donut shops here sell sausage rolls, and they're not primarily German. They're also, I think there's some Polish influence in there as well, but kolaches or sausage rolls are everywhere. But the place near me has got ones that are wrapped in croissant rolls instead of the normal kind of roll that they normally come in. Man, the croissant ones are real good. Oh, they're solid.
I think you're just talking about that because of what you just ate for dinner. So
that's true.
I knew it.
No, I was actually going from the donut, but you're right. That is true. That point,
it's your inner belly talking.
Yeah. That point was brought up to me recently by somebody who used to live here and moved away and was talking about they went to a donut shop. They were after some sausage rolls and they didn't have them. They're like, they just have donuts. I'm like, well, it is a donut shop. It's Texas is the weird ones where the donut shops also have sausage rolls.
Yeah.
But you're right. It did have.
Fuck, now I want a croissant.
Big old pigs in a blanket tonight, though, which was good. I haven't had those in a long time.
I'm going to have a croissant in the morning. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck you.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know what kind, though.
Tough choice.
Dude, my local brewery comes out, oh my God, double milkshake IPA. For real. They come out with some of the best fucking flavors and they can them. And they're available for, just a little bit, like a few weeks. And then that's it. Now on to the next one. They're so good.
I do agree with the cupcakes are weird because most of the fancy cupcakes are super frosting heavy. So, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Does anyone nasty about sugar and fat, right?
Those are people who don't enjoy Almond Joy. And by the same token, people who don't know how to eat an Almond Joy properly. It's the same thing with cupcakes. You need like this much frosting. That tick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, either that or have a little bit of the frosting on the inside,
dude,
instead of all over the top.
So
I had a sound bite, but it was quicker just to do that.
back when like Magnolia Cupcakes was like the cool kid spot. I think it was like after they referenced it on SNL.
You talk about the Nolia?
Magnolia Bakery.
The Nolia.
You remember the Chronicles of Narnia SNL bit? That's where they go in the skit. So that bakery, that was like line out the door shit. So I go with my sister, and all the cupcakes have like this much frosting on them.
Yeah, totally.
So we're at like a park right near the bakery, and we're like drinking coffee. And before I even could get into the cupcake, I just mouthful of frosting. I just like
spit it out.
Yeah. Spit it out. Like I had to do that a few times. The pigeons fucking start coming over and eating the frosting. I'm like, I don't feel bad,
dude. Robert Reynolds says he eats cupcakes with a fork. What else would you eat?
And then those pigeons are going to become diabetic and be a drain on the city's finances.
I mean, it's like where it says, "What is it with women and cupcakes? Cupcakes are terrible. Croissants all the way." What is it with women and cupcakes? They're all like, "No, you're supposed to peel it and then cut the half off and then
learn how to make a
cheesecake on the top, and then you make a sandwich." No, that's too much fucking work.
It is a lot of work, but that is how you properly eat a cupcake. It's true. Otherwise, it's impossible to eat a cupcake without putting the bottom on top, without just like getting all over your face and looking like an idiot.
I use the principle of how do you eat a Reese's peanut butter cup while you're driving.
How is that? How does that principle work?
Well, this is I figured out this one myself. It's not something I've asked anyone. It was one you just you crack it open, you pull it out. Here's the thing, though.
Sounds like
it can't be too warm because like if they're too warm, then you can't like crack the paper off the edge.
It just goos.
It has to be, dude. Like you have to be running the AC in the car for this to work perfectly, right? Like they have to be good temperature. You just go, you peel it a little bit, and you go strip. Boom.
My mind's telling me no.
Nah, you're not getting that. It's just a 1, 2, 3 process. Boom. Eat Reese's while driving.
But
you tear it a little bit. You tear it off.
My body's telling me.
Diabetes.
My body's telling me.
Dude. Speaking of diabetes,
my body's telling me stop.
I couldn't think of the guy from the Liberty Medical ads that would come on, the old actor. And then it just hit me, Wilford Brimley. Like, hi, I'm Wilford Brimley. I'm here for Liberty Medical. I have diabetes.
I lost my toe.
Any degenerates in chat who have watched TV at like 1 o'clock in the morning will know what I'm talking about.
Look, Duro taking it old school. Whatever happened to the Rose?
The Rose was pretty good in 2014, Duro. Fessy says I'm scaring him because Texas needs to secede before we kill us all in our sleep. Yeah, that is possible. They're not.
Thank you, cupcakes. I mean,
that I'm just saying it's difficult to eat one, especially the ones with the retard amounts of frosting on top.
Unless you do the.
Yeah, unless you do.
Or you could throw cupcakes at the wall.
Well,
unless you have a handy pigeon for which to take half of your frosting.
No, you just chuck them against the wall. Whoop.
I'll tell you what, a donut is a lot safer to eat than a cupcake when you got a 2-year-old. That fucking cupcake shit's gonna be all over the fucking place. Yeah. Donut, you can kind of keep it separated.
Yeah, do your dogs hover for crumbs?
Dude, if
they could be inside his pants.
See, well, yeah. Whoa. We just start putting them away because then she knows, oh, well, whatever falls on the ground, it's all good because the dogs are gonna eat it. No, dogs ain't gonna be around forever. We ain't gonna be clean that shit up. You will. So no, and then she thinks it's funny to feed them. Like, oh, you had all these chips. Where are they? Well, one for Ammo, one for Juno, one for Lilo, one for me. Yeah. Or like half for me, and then crumbs to them.
It's true.
Look at that. We are 32, minus 11 minutes in, and all we've talked about is fucking junk food. Hey, welcome to the Fat Bastards of Hazards.
Hey, first of all, it's a fat lifestyle podcast.
I am Fat Blast 09. We have You're Gonna Foo Your Baka and the Angstful Eater. Eat your cupcake like a fucking burger.
Yeah, we like eating good shit. Deal with it.
Can you imagine Five Guys cupcakes and fries? Oh shit.
You want to know the quickest way to my heart? Make me an egg sandwich on a croissant.
Five Guys milkshakes and fries. Somebody said earlier, if you ask for a milkshake in Europe, you're gonna be disappointed on what you get.
You'll get
what do you get?
No, in England.
What do you get? That was like the whole milk tea and biscuits. Remember?
Yes,
biscuits.
Duro, there is another version of the Rose that came out about a year ago, I think.
Almost 2 years ago.
Was it?
The Rose 3? Yeah, it's been out for a minute.
Now, third rendition? Yeah, it's been out for a while. It's been longer than a year, for sure.
I was going to guess a year, but if it's longer than that, that's fine. That's possible. I never bought one.
So,
because by that time I was full-time squonking and didn't have any use for anything else besides a billet box. And
what is up with Reddit's new fucking weird
dude, it is
layout?
awful.
I have it now set to old.reddit.com.
Yes, you have to do old.reddit, otherwise it's unusable. Like the worst part is if you use Res, which most people that use Reddit use, you can't expand images, you can't expand all that shit. Like I would normally be browsing, like GIFs or something, right? Something that's graphically oriented. You hit expand all images, you scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you've consumed all that content. It's great. The new one fucking can't do that, and Res has said that they can't update to be able to handle it.
Yep. And also they had an issue where I like sorting. You couldn't sort for the week. You can only do like, past hour, past month, year. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Festi, that would be the V3 Rose. That's exactly right. That's the one with the piano wire that fell on the floor, so your AFC never worked again. But back to Duro's point, stick with Statsqualm and you go places. I completely agree. I mean, I still have this guy that I keep pulling out, the Squape Emotion EC. I use this stuff all the time.
So Duro could have said, stick with Statqualm and you'll succeed.
Yeah, if you're going to be doing tanks, I mean, back in the day, I would have totally said that the UK owned the tank market, and now it's either, it's Germany or Switzerland, really, in my opinion. Yes, William, Reddit is cancer, we know, but now the actual look is cancer as well as the content.
RNBA is still the greatest subreddit on Reddit by a mile. IMO.
I can't even go look at admin my ice cream subreddit. It's ridiculous. It's like 21 different flavors of crap on this page now.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't know if we had this on the agenda for tonight, since we are the most sought after and professional show in vaping with over. I lost my clock. The clock just went to shit because it was counting so much. I think we have over 385 million years of experience between the 3 1/8 of us, because I'm sure Sean out there somewhere is still vaping. Did you guys hear about the Fight the FDA deeming regulations #fund the suit?
I was going to ask you if anybody's done any research on the whole fund the suit. In fact, I was going to say,
how do you know that I need to buy a new suit for my brother's wedding this summer?
That is exactly the pun I was going to go for my show name.
Yes. So we'll see what Chad has.
I wish you would have pitched it to me.
But pretty much on May, the first update was there was an update on May 31st. So basically, they are trying to get to a $250,000 goal, and they're using GoFundMe. I understand. At the time when I checked, it's up to $272,000. So they broke their goal already. About 1,000 people have donated in 18 days, which is a crazy amount of money. But that's still almost close to $7 to $8 grand, probably a little bit more in just fees. With GoFundMe. Now, I'm sure GoFundMe is probably the easiest way for them to do this instead of going through other venues. But that's interesting. So they're trying to do a suit where people have basically done a media blast, including Fig Ramsey, Grim Green, Vaping Bogan, Naked, Anakin, Dripmore, and a bunch of people have donated a huge amount of money. And to some of these companies, it's definitely worth having this suit go on. And basically it's to fight, pretty much the demon regulations that are coming down the line.
Yep.
And just to read you off some of the highest donations, which I still find interesting, per se. 62,000 from Candy King Dripmore, 50,000 from Naked, 100, 20,000 from Anakin, from Sevilla, USA. And then it drops down to individual people and a few staff boosted with 5,000, my pod with 4,000, so and so on. And that's that's pretty good advertising there. Because people are going and seeing that. John Nathan, who the fuck is John Nathan? $3,000. Mountain Oak Vapors, $2,500. So there are quite a few, top level folks in there. And it's good. It's good to see, these folks going out and donating to this. But, Anxie, I don't know if we want to tie this into the news that Sean delivered to us yesterday.
Yeah.
The day before.
We can.
And I don't know how much, more, about it, if you want to chime in a little bit more, but we were in chat yesterday and the day before. And again, I am starting with the fund. I will put the link to the GoFundMe if you want to donate, because since we were out last week, it's been
over.
Oh yeah, it is. No longer accepting donations. Okay then. Well, it's okay. So we didn't get a chance to, but you can go check it out. We didn't get a chance to really talk about it because we've been out for 2 weeks, but for a week. So I started off with that, and now leading into the news, we were in our chat, and Understudy sent us a link that basically.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Oh yeah, Mike Jones. Under the high horse.
Oh yeah.
And sent us a link from Casa, and it's literally a picture of a school bus and an old guy sitting on the road, and basically says, "Careful. If you scream when you're thrown under the bus, you'll freak out the innocent little kids on board." With the title, Cole Bishop throws vapors under the bus. And basically, the Cole Bishop, I guess they were calling it the Cole Bishop Amendment, or who's, he's a congressman. He was saying, okay, let's be smart about this with the labeling rules and age verification and battery standards and all that other stuff.
Yep.
But just like it always happens, and the Cole Bishop thing was really, a lot of people thought that was in the bag. And the first call to action for the Cole Bishop started in April 2016. So, close to 3 years ago, they started where, the Senate was basically bringing up some kind of language to really lock things down by using the agricultural appropriations bill. So, and see, you got, and this is kind of like where all the PMTAs and all these things started. You want to talk about it a little bit more?
Fuck no.
Okay.
No, I'm pissed off about it.
Yeah. You want to get pissed off about something else?
Sure. Well, wait, let's finish one thing at a time.
Yeah. So, basically, you got two-faced, you got bamboozled.
Well, what happened is what always happens, right? Or they write up one bill the way it's supposed to be written, the way people want it to be written, and then in order to get it through, they either lump it in with other shit, or they change the wording of it halfway through, and then now it doesn't actually say what it used to say in any sort of reasonable amount. And I'm distracted and trying to stay level here and re-wicking my atomizer because I don't know. The whole thing is just absolutely infuriating because that is something that should have helped. Now, and the biggest thing about it, though, Masty, I think, is the fact that the Cole Bishop one, especially when they revised it like a year and a half ago, it wasn't like awesome for us. It was reasonable. Correct. It was good, but when they started adding all this battery shit, like it started getting less awesome for us and more like reasonable, because we've always said we are down with having some amount of reasonable regulation. That's fine for safety, kids, safety caps, age restrictions, all that sort of shit. But at this point, I mean, I think fucking useless. One of
the biggest takeaways is that every reference to a predicate date for vaping products is gone. Absolutely gone. That means you're fucked, because now everything is going to be, under that. That means every vapor product currently on the market will have to go through the PMTA process.
Which they had to before, right? The whole point this was supposed to help to get to a date. I don't know. It's just, and this is why I things like these where, that's great. You're making donations. And again, I'm sure we're going to hear about it. Oh, these guys are saying, don't donate, don't do this and that. Hey, the donation period is over. So if you donated, great. If you didn't, oh, well. But folks, look at this stuff, because it always happens where people will do this. Like, oh, we donated all this money to CASA, this Cole Bishop thing, blah, blah, blah. This isn't a guaranteed return on your investment here. Right. You're not buying the vote. You don't have enough money to buy the vote.
but remember, a lot of people believe that. They believe that, oh, we're if you don't talk about this on your show, you're not helping vaping industry. Well, you gotta be realistic about the shit that happens in day in and day out up there in DC. So hey, this is a suit. They got the money for it. They got way more than they needed. I think it's awesome, but
and I hope it works, right?
I hope it works too. I hope it works too.
The other thing that gets me really about the whole donation thing was the fact that it's a pretty reasonable amount of money, right? $250. That's a pretty reasonable amount of money. The thing that gets me about it is the fact that we had, I don't remember how many you said, Masty. It was like 5 companies donating, right? I want to know how many millions of dollars of profit that people have made off of vaping that is going to be going away very soon. And just nobody, right? Nowheresville, besides the half dozen people that decided to pony up. I don't know. It's stuff like that that gets me. And they're always after vapors to open our pockets. And we should totally be supporting. We should be supporting this. One of the reasons why we're mentioning it now. But at the same time, the people that are in the capitalist system making money off this, that will not be making money off of it later, you'd think that they would have a vested interest in helping a little bit, because they clearly make enough money to maybe kick in a bit.
No, and all the fees are straight up outlined in there, all the legal fees and everything that it was going to cost to bring something this big to it. But you have to remember that bigger lawsuits with millions of dollars in lawyers have been brought up before and squashed like a bug.
Tomas said Big Liquid needs money for the Maseratis. I don't think he really knows what we're laughing about, but it's
you mean big spinners.
So donate, but also don't don't frown upon other people for, wanting to support something else, wanting to support something that's, either going to lobbying or anything like that, or just there, because I know what's going on, because people already have been giving Casa shit for their donation amount.
Yeah.
To this, and they've been giving other people shit for, oh, well, we don't see you on there. Oh, well, you have this multi, $1 million company that you're running that's making money off these, vape products, and you haven't donated. Well, maybe they don't want to fucking donate. Maybe they don't want to get involved with them. They don't want their name on there.
What was it, a fucking Bible group as to like who didn't bring a casserole?
And yes, you can donate anonymously, but if you look at the amount of anonymous donations, it's like 5.
Yeah, drops.
Everybody wants to put their name on that shit because everybody's looking at it. You're right. But you know what, Inksy? I think those players in the game that knew they were getting out when they were, because if not, they're going to lose money. We've talked about this before, and it still continues to happen, and it will continue to happen. You saw an influx of new companies coming in and new products, even though there was no PMTA, they don't give a shit. I mean, Brandon said it himself, how much money they have spent on making sure that this shit is done by the book. I mean,
full-time employees.
Look at Craving. Craving came out with a Jinx.
For a lot of companies, they had to break to stay in business.
These companies are spending. I'd love to ask John how much fucking money they have spent on R&D and putting that thing together.
Wait, so Costello said Congress hasn't done anything in years unless forced to. They like the system fucked up as it is, and that's true. But what you have to go to them with is not a really good argument in science. What you have to go with them is, hey, I've got these pictures on this USB thumb drive of you in some compromising situation.
Either that, or here's a U-Haul truck full of $100 bills.
Yeah.
Here's the keys. Take it. Drive it.
So, how does Mr. Franklin feel along with some 0 milligram samples?
Yeah. So, but that's I've been seeing a lot of talk back and forth about that in some of the forums on who's donating, who's doing this, who's doing that, dude. I would love. Take your money and donate it to Mooch. Take your money and donate it to people who are actually doing, Farsalinos, who are actually doing, some scientific stuff that will hopefully keep idiots from the mainstream media, from, batteries blowing up and people suing. But hey, I'm more practical than this, hope and pray bullshit.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers, man.
Thoughts and prayers. Send some thoughts and prayers. What were you going to say, Ahmed?
I was just pointing at myself when you were saying donate to.
No, earlier. No, you deleted your freaking Patreon. You suck.
Food need cash money.
Yeah, right. The other thing I was saying you can get pissed off about is Chicago. Apparently, according to vaping360.com, proposes an e-liquid flavor ban. Yeah. I don't know how much it's going to chalk up, but this is how it rolls. We've dealt with proposed flavor. Look at all these fucking blue ads. God damn.
You know what the problem with Chicago is? The word
their pizza?
No, the word Alderman. The word Alderman is absolutely.
I'm not even gonna look at chat. Because this is my chat monitor. It is not up right now.
No, that word for some reason just infuriates me for some reason. I don't know why.
Chicago?
No, Alderman. Oh. That word drives me crazy. Like, it makes me want to kick somebody in the nuts.
New York votes on the flavor ban tomorrow too, dude.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And is it San Fran? Old Stefan Didak's been talking about the San Fran one too.
So anyway,
and that one that is the wait. Hang on, Ahmed. That's the perfect example. If you read that post that Stefan made on Reddit and a few other places where they paid and fucking bust people to protest the vaping regulations against the vaping regulations. Who fucking paid for them? Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. We're fighting, you know, people who have gamed the system, who know how to play it. I mean, who would have thought, oh, we're going to bust 20, 30, 40 people up to stand out here with these signs saying vaping is going to kill you and all that. Who the fuck cares? Nobody cares about that shit. Only caring about the fucking money.
Yeah, same thing.
I love it. I look like my granddad. Just wafting away the shitty people.
What I feel. Get the fuck out of here.
I love it.
Would you say they're blaming the Juuls?
Actually, that first picture at the top of that article was kind of funny.
Right. That's a pretty good Photoshop.
It is a pretty good Photoshop.
What? But yeah, look at this blue ad. Yeah,
so somebody
Halo, Juul, like maybe. Oh my, this looks like 2014.
Somebody just asked, or a Samsung fan asked, "Hey, my question is, how is the government going to enforce all these regulations? I mean, seriously, blah blah." Okay, I'll give you a perfect example of how they're going to do this. Okay, look at the Drone Registration Act law that was literally 3 weeks before the holiday season. And they fucking passed it. And everyone who bought a drone past a certain weight had to register it and pay a fee and take a little sticker and put it on their drone. Think about the amount of, and we're talking about drones from $5 all the way up to, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, obviously those are, you know, super heavy and expensive, and you're probably going to have a commercial or a pilot's license already to pretty much to be flying this. But nobody thought that would ever pass. Nobody thought that, you know, people would actually enforce it. And guess what? That next day, the cops were out and about, and that was one of the first things they were just dying to stop these assholes that kept flying over people's houses, you know, with you know, what are you doing? Oh, well, that wasn't me. Oh yeah, well, your drone landed here and we have confiscated it, and it's got your number and your sticker on it, you know. So this is nothing. I mean, again, yeah, a lot of people are using, you know, e-cigarette devices. I hate saying the cigarette part next to it because of
internet smoking devices.
But yeah, internet smoking devices. But they'll do it. Nobody ever thought that shit would pass, and that they would never have the manpower to do it. And you know, and a few months later,
boom, you
know, the database is gone. People's information might have been leaked, you know, and it's a mess. So that's how the government does it.
I mean, what I was saying in chat before, states will probably jump the gun before federal authorities do.
Yeah.
And they already have been. They're just going to pass taxes, or they're going to... They have the time and money to chip away at the industry.
Yeah.
By something as small as busting vape shops for selling to underage kids and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So... You know, say we have, dude, think about how much things can change in 2 or 3 years from now, right?
Yeah.
Without the FDA laying a finger or having any final judgment.
You know, my thing too is I've seen like I said, I sent you guys a picture of my local news doing, you know, think of the children picture, you know, of vaping and high school kids and all this other stuff. That is a, you know, if you remember the DARE campaign that happened, you know, when I was in school.
Nancy Reagan, yeah,
Nancy Reagan and McGruff and all this shit of, you know, of DARE. That was a huge push. Yes, that was drugs. Okay, but that's what's happening now with the vaping devices.
Tomas just said 2 years ago, juuling wasn't even a word, and it shouldn't be a word now.
Yeah, because 14-year-olds started using them, and they have to have a fucking name for everything.
Correct. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's gonna be just like Tide Pods and you know, snorting condoms and you know, spinners and all this other crap. No, because okay, the Tide Pods are killing people, but the spinners, people just wasted money on. Didn't do anything to them except for the idiots who ate the bearings and they got stuck. Whatever. And you know, so this is completely different because now they're going to use that, and it's a huge problem. You know, I have family that works in the school system, and they're seeing him all the way in elementary school. So now, how a 5th, 6th grader gets a Juul, you know,
well, fucking Sanjay shouldn't have sold it to him.
Yeah.
Racist.
So
Not.
Yes, snorting condoms, horror. It's apparently a thing. So, along with the Tide Pods and all that. But yeah,
those kids need fucking jobs. That's what they need.
Shit.
If you have a job, you don't think of doing stupid shit like that. I swear, every dumb idea I've had either came on a day off while I was unemployed.
Robert said I was smoking weed and cigs in 8th grade. E-cigs are for pussies.
Yeah, they are.
Well, maybe it's just a bunch of pussies going to school now, and that's what the end thing is to do. So I'd love to find out what's for pussies now. So it's probably like, I don't know, having a job and not living with your parents. That's for pussies.
For pussies. I'm looking for a particular post here, so forgive me for just a moment.
This goes to show you that the government doesn't give a shit about the health of its citizens. It's all about the almighty dollar. They know that kids are still going to find ways to smoke. Yep, same song. Scott said, I prefer tightening. Oh, God, please. No. I'm going to tighten on your face.
No, don't bring back child labor. No, we need to bring back beating your kids.
They absolutely need to bring back beating your kids.
Right. That's about it.
Yeah.
Before anybody gets all wiggly, we don't mean like abusing them. We mean disciplining them.
Yeah, every so often you give them a smack upside the head. It's hey, I told you heat up my dinner.
No, and I don't mean I don't mean with your hand. I mean with your fucking chancleta or with a belt or with the switch. You are not going to use your hand because you will mess your hand up. That and chancletas are like boomerangs.
Real story. I single-handedly gave my mom arthritis.
I can't find the post I'm looking for.
If you ever, yeah, I'm sure that there's a video somewhere of my 5'2" mother beating up on me and my brother with her chancleta, like the fear of God. I was running, and they still got me.
You're welcome, Samsung fan.
I was running and to do things. Did you find it?
No. Oh, there it is. Oh crap, it's not there. So what I was looking for was the Battery Mooch post about the batteries. I was going to talk about.
I thought you found looking up something about beating your kids.
You saw beat your kids with batteries. Oh shit.
He said that was going to be posted in a few days. I have not seen that post.
I'm going to take all of my 18650s I need to recycle and put them in a sock.
Did you see his post about the chargers? He's got a Google Docs up with what chargers Battery Mooch should test.
Yeah, we've been talking about having to test them for a while. I think he said the problem was it was going to be difficult to test them properly.
There is the Google Doc for the survey if you want to put it fill it out. If the charger you want tested is not on the list, use the other section at the bottom and write in the charger's model number and manufacturer name. Only choices made in the poll will be counted. Any chargers listed in the comments below won't be included in the poll. So there you go. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. One of the sleds in my charger broke the other day.
Duro said, "Give him truss fires and nails."
You can only pick one.
That would have been, that would have been a bad idea.
No, he didn't say or nails.
Like, whoa, that's like carrying an instant fire starter anywhere I go.
Oh, come on, tell me that my shit's not going to be or is going to be tested. Come on.
Oh. Your shit might be too old.
You said it's not. Oh, good. This is a solid 5.2%.
Okay.
It's like the third biggest one out there, or fourth.
You get you get the
results?
The results, yeah.
Yeah. Because I still say that the X-Tar VC4 is the best one out there because it tells you how many mAhs are going back up in that battery.
I don't give a mah.
I don't think there are any other ones out there that do that. And if there is, I'd like to know about it because that really is the single most important data point that I like. Now, I think the new Dragon, it's not new anymore, it's like a year old, but the more expensive, crazily more expensive Dragon. And there's another one that I think Rick from ModMaker has been using that will actually give you the internal resistance. Like it measures the internal resistance of the battery, which I think is also a cool data point. But as far as like a quick and dirty, I do like knowing how many mAhs are going back in because you can find out stuff like this. This is actually something I was going to talk about. Look at that one right there. Look at that. You see that? This the Stinky Pinky has got 597 mAhs going back into it. And that was after the DNA 40 said, teet, bottom of the road. That means this battery's fucked, and it's time to retire it. That is something that I've been working on quite a bit lately because I can't find the post where he published the discharge curves, but the VAP cell, the INR 2800 mAh, 25 amp battery is the one of the ones that he said was a rewrap of the Sony 5D. I think it's D.
So damn studious about your batteries. My data points are like, hey, these batteries are starting to suck.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long have I had these for? And I go and I look up my last Lumen order and I'm like, it's about 8 months. Yeah, I should probably get rid of these.
Yeah. No, that's right. Well, that's why I haven't bought a Dragon either because it was like $100. So let's do talk about these things. This is the first rewrap that I have purchased in I don't know how long. It's been a long time. We always recommend buying straight from the manufacturer. And the reason is because when you buy rewraps, you never know what's inside of them. Now, the ones that Mooch tested, the stats lined right up with the new Sony 5D, which is better than the 5A, which is what most of us have been running in our unregulated mods the last few months. 5D is supposed to outperform it. I have found, well, I bought 2 of them, right? One of them's in here, one of them is loose, and I think I talked about they came with this little zipper ballistic nylon case, which is kind of cool. You know, it's got a little whatever in it. But then I did the little scratch and sniff thing and actually literally checked the VapCell website to make sure these are legitimate VapCell cells, and they are. But I have found one of these things blows ass. It's just not good. Like the way it discharges is sags a lot, and then it works okay for a little while. But when I'm done with it, right, when my mod is now hitting like poo-poo face, and I throw it on the charger, it's like at 3.7 volts. When it recharges, I get about 1,500 or so mod maybe back into it. Now the other battery actually works pretty well. So I don't know if I just got one bum one or not, but it kind of sucks. Right now, in my experience, it's like a 50% failure rate. One of these batteries, I wouldn't ever go out of the house with. When I go out of the house, I'm reaching for a 5A because I don't know if this thing's going to work very well. And the other thing is they vape really weird too. So one of the things that prevented me from going unregulated for a long time was the fact that I liked a certain kind of vape, right? And when you start vaping unregulated, when you find the right build and you get the right battery, you get a real consistent vape for almost the whole time, right? These are somewhat odd. They seem to me, and this is including the one that works well, they seem like they have a lower nominal voltage, right? So the voltage that it's going to remain for most of the cycle, it seems like it's a little lower than a 5A. It just does. And again, maybe I have a bad pair. Even the good one, maybe I've got a bad pair. The good one, it works pretty well. I think it's all right. The bad one, I swear the thing's firing real low under load. I can't prove that because I'm no Peepa Sardo or a DJ LSB with an oscilloscope. All I know is when I put it in my mod and I vape with it, it sucks. That's what I know. So I'm not going to pretend like I know something, which is why I was looking for mooches.
I'm not a scientist, but this battery sucks.
Yeah, that's right. I'm enough of a vapor to know when something sucks, and that sucks. So again, maybe I got a bad one, but here's the problem. The problem is I don't know what cell that is, right? It certainly could be a 5D. Like the good one could be a 5D, and maybe the other one is some piece of shit other one that is underneath the VAP cell rewrap. I don't know, and nobody knows. So that's why I hate buying rewraps. I just hate it. At least if I bought one straight from the manufacturer, I would know what it is, and I can raise it to them. You know, if they sent me something that wasn't my order, I could say, hey, this is my order, but this is a legitimate VAP cell, and one of them blows. So what are you gonna do, right? The people that I bought it from, I left the card out here so I can remember the 18650 battery store. They sold me what I bought, right? I bought 2 VAP cells. Nah, one of them sucks.
Whoa.
So I don't know.
I have a mooch in the chat tonight.
Oh,
he's here. He's always watching. He says he's not always in chat.
Ken, I don't know.
I hope I just summoned him.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Ken, I don't know if VapCell sent the mooch the batteries he tested. I'm not sure. I think he buys a majority of the ones that he tests. I know for a while there he was getting some cells from certain companies, but I think they weren't happy with the results that he was giving because he's mooch. He's going to tell you what the fuck he sees, and I don't think they were very happy about it. So he even had like a long drama llama thing. You've probably heard us joking about how he tests like the batter, or he should. What was it again? He shouldn't be talking about cotton. You test the battery.
Oh, right. He's not a cotton guy.
Yeah. It was the titanium cotton guy, right?
Some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it was. So to me, he says they're Sony 5D rewraps. I think if you want a Sony 5D, you should go buy a Sony 5D. That's what I think, and that's what I will continue to be doing. I'm not terribly pleased with the first rewraps I've purchased in years, and one of them sucks. So I think, now I know that Will purchased a few. What were they again? The Samsung, were they Sammys? The 20T or whatever. Scrolling. Oh,
scrolling intensifies.
Mooch, where's your shit?
Where is he when you need him?
Oh, the 25S. That's right. Here's the 25S. So that one seems to be the 20 and 24S are the ones that he really, really liked. And those are the ones that I think I need to go find because the 20 and 24S were very highly rated in his testing, as was the Sony 5D, but almost like not quite as good as the two Sammys.
Scott Runyon says to scroll harder. You can't scroll harder if you have infinite scroll.
Well, actually, you can. You can take compressed air and hit that wheel, and don't do it because it will blow up. Mine did. I did that, and it was like,
oh yeah, you did that in the Hangout.
And now I can't.
You absolutely did that shit in the Hangout with like an old mouse, and you fucking broke it.
Yeah, it like locked like at 50,000 RPMs, and it just blew them itself.
Blew the switch out.
Yeah, absolutely. Rewrap the shit out of them, right? But you're rewrapping something you know. That's the important part. You know what?
Why don't you rewrap it with a VAP cell wrap? Boom.
So that was my thing about batteries. I did get two pieces of vape mail over this last break, this last 2-week break that we had, and I am pleased for which to show you. One of the things that was very sad a few months ago is my favorite PO tip. I'm gonna turn this light on so you can see. My favorite PO tip. I don't remember exactly what happened to it. I don't know if it just fell or something, but it chipped somewhere. Where the hell is
it?
Somewhere it chipped anyway, and I still use it for a while, but it got to be a little annoying. So I rotated around to using my other favorite PO tip, which is this white one, which I really liked. But I only had one tip, and that's annoying. So I contacted a certain man known as O-Man and had him make 2 more of those that replaced the busted one, and one more white one, and they came. So I'm really excited about it. This is really awesome. Now, the funny thing is because these things are handmade, a lot of the ones that he makes now are he's got them set up in his CNC machine, so they're all super consistent and perfect every time. For example, this guy that I've been using for a while. This is one of his less expensive versions. It's just all one piece in Delrin or Derlin. Works really, really well, and every one of them looks exactly the same. But when he makes them by hand, they vary a little bit, which I kind of love. It's something that I've always kind of enjoyed. So this one we've got, that guy's a little bit rounder and smoother, and this guy. Let me get it both up at the same time. This guy's got a little bit of an edge on it, a little bit of an edge, and then this white one that you may have seen is much larger. It's much fatter.
Mo bigger.
So this one reminds me a lot of. So by the way, the bore, and that's the other thing that's kind of funny about these things. So if I take the one of here that appears the smallest and put it right next, the white one looks a lot bigger, right? And even if you look at down the bow, the white one looks a lot bigger. It's not. I used the calipers, measured it. They're all exactly the same. But merely the fact that the OD is so much bigger, it makes it look big, which is weird. But the nice thing about this guy is it kind of reminds me of the old the wides, Camel wides, which I smoked for quite a while.
Oh yeah,
liked Camel wides, and So that was a little odd, but it was cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that I purchased them. Now I think you can get. I think the tips, I want to say they're like $15 or $20 or something for the more simple ones. But if you get the custom ones like I ordered, they are a little bit more expensive. These three were $90, including shipping. So if anybody thinks I'm sponsored by Omen, even though I mention them every week, I'm not. I just gave them $90. So everybody chill out. But they really are. They're still my favorite tips. They just
apparently those are Delrin, not black. They're Black Ultim, not Delrin.
Maybe. I think they were originally Delrin, but they may be Black Ultim now. I know he did get a good shipment of Black Ultim in for other things, but I thought they were Derlin. I could be wrong. Yeah, if they're Black Ultim, they're Black Ultim. I think it's Omen Stuff. I'll check for you. OmenStuff.com. I think that's right.
Boom. Check our chat.
Confirmed. OmenStuff.com is where you can buy it. Yep. Will says they are Black Ultim. Fair enough. There you go. Black Ultim. Well, it also says Ultim, and there's a clear one. The clear one's not Ultim.
Hey, your pee can be clear too if you're well hydrated.
Nope. I know Ultim doesn't come in clear.
Maybe it's acrylic.
So, yes, I'm very happy about my new drippy tippies. I do have one more thing that I want to talk about that may be a little bit longer. So if either of you two want to go before I go again, that's fine. Got anything to talk about?
I don't have to pee.
You don't have to pee.
No. You've got. I don't know if Mast is mid-thought or he doesn't have anything.
No, I was just reading something. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was recently contacted by a certain Stephen Hassani who makes runs the company known as where'd it go? There it is. Known as Haku. So the Haku Phenom was one that you may remember that I did a review on it a little while back. It's an excellent atomizer. The biggest problem with the Phenom, and it's the same with the Cruiser, is it has too much air for me. I run this thing at like a third or less of the airflow open, and when you do so, it works great. But you're always having to make sure it's in the right spot. And if you like more air than I do, perfect. It's fine, right? It's like more than an Arda, but not by a lot. But it's it's more than an Arda, and it's fine. It builds really easily. It works great, and it's not terribly expensive, and it's available. You can get these things pretty much at will. So that's the things I like about that. So he hit me up recently, and he offered to send me one of his new ones. Now I did try to pay for it. He wouldn't let me pay for it. So thank you to Steven. But that means I have a Vena in my hand. So the Vena is very interesting. It's a very interesting atomizer. The original one.
V-E-N-A?
Yeah, V-E-N-N-A, Vena.
Oh, N-A.
So the thing about the Phenom and the Cruisers is one of the things I loved about it is their deck. The deck is very easy to build on. So there are people, and I could name names, there are people that were literally chunking Atomizer out if it's difficult to build. These are people that, for example, don't like the Narda, which is not the easiest thing in the world to build because, well, it's just not. You have to bend the legs out, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But if you get it right, the Narda is fucking awesome. It's my favorite Atomizer for a long time.
Narda builds now.
What?
And I said, I'm not the greatest builder, but if I've struggled less while owning a Narda than anyone can.
Yeah, you could absolutely do it.
Yeah, I do. Dude, my last build, I fucking no wrestling. None.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm like, wait, I can wick it now?
Yeah. I'm already finished. Yeah. You totally can. But there's a knack to it. And I can agree with, or I can admit that, even though I love the thing, there's definitely a knack to it. None of that is the case with the Phenom, the older Hakos. Yeah. Those things are dumb easy to build. You drop a coil in, you screw down the very sturdy post, and you're finished. There's no faffing about. There's no trying to get, fiddle dicking around and trying to get things lined up the right way. It's just you drop it in, you clamp it down, you go. And if you use round wire builds or parallels like I do, it still always clamps down on the right spot, and it's easy to get into because one of them is even open, so you can slide it in from the side, which is nice. So the cool thing about the Vena, is, oops, I just pulled my drip tip off. Ow, that actually kind of hurt. The cool thing about the Vena is the deck is the exact same. The basic parts of the deck are the same. So let's go close up so I can show you. And this is why I was re-wicking right before the when Master was talking. So the deck is almost identical as far as the posts go. You still have one of the side of the posts is open right there. The other side of the posts is got a nice generous hole in there. No problem to get something through. What's new though is you'll see the airflow columns have been redesigned, and they are very cool. If you look at some of the milling, some of the angles that he's got in there.
Looks like a Robert Key coil got in there.
It is a Robert Key coil that I have bent up a little bit. Look at that. It's a little bit jacked up. That was not like that when I got it. Robert sent it perfect. But the other thing that's kind of interesting is you can see how it comes through there. The air is actually coming slightly angled. So it's not coming straight in at the coil. It's coming off a little bit of an angle, which is obviously done on purpose. And it also runs really low on the deck. So we also have two little cutouts on either side to rest your build rod in. And when you have it there, then everything lines up just perfectly, real easy to bolt it down. So the biggest thing for me is the fact that it still builds as easy as the Phenom does. But you have those two stacked holes, which are each much smaller than the original one. And there's two of them, which I think is really cool. And I'm not going to go into some crazy bro science thing and try to justify this to you. But what I will say is historically, Sean and I, one of the things that Sean and I agreed on was when you have, if you remember back in the day when we had a Jenny, the best airflow option was always the ones that if you had two stacked, it almost always worked better for whatever reason. And in my opinion, I think it's because you're still pulling, once you get the two diameters of those sizes right, you're reducing the amount of surface area of the hole. They add up to the proper amount, once you get both of them right, but they are reduced to two smaller ones. And when you do that, you get a little acceleration through there, and it tends to work a little bit better. Air is accelerating through there a little bit better.
They're two small holes, so it's hitting a vertical coil really nice.
That's right.
That's
totally.
I always felt like that was a nice thing about it.
Well, that was absolutely nice. I'm not going to disagree with that, but what I do think that the fact that there is two in general still helps a lot. So one of the things that this thing does is the larger one is on bottom and the smaller one's on top. So you do still have some air hitting it direct on, and you've got the bigger one that's hitting the coil low. So you've got smaller holes accelerating the air through there. I think it works great. And the other thing that's really nice about it is this. Not one. not one hint of excuse me, not one hint of a whistle. And this whole show I've been over here vaping, and the camera hasn't been cutting to me when I inhale as Masty's talking or somebody else is talking, because this thing is quiet.
Yeah.
It's great. And not only that, the airflow volume, the total volume itself is much more my speed. So if you like, I would even say it's tighter than the Narda. It's more like the Narca to me. So the way it feels like a Narca, which to me is perfect. And I don't have to jack with, the airflow and making sure it's, between, 28 and 30% open. And, it's just easier to use for me because that's the way I like my air. This thing is really good. It's good enough to where I probably, even though I'm crazy ass busy right now at work, I'm actually going to try to really hard to do a full review on this. It's that good. I haven't had very many atomizers that I would put up against a Narda and like have on the same level. And I really do think that this probably could be. Like, it really is very good. And I've only been using it for a few days, but it's been very positive. There's a couple little niggles about this that I'm not wild about. One of which is the same as it was in the one of the caps of the Haku, which is especially this happens when you have these little slam cap style things. Is the 510 length of the 510 hole for your drip tips a little short, so you can push it over, which is a small thing. And there's another thing that's a little bit funny with the airflow. That's a little bit weird, but it's totally doable. It's whatever. Oh, and the top cap can stick a little bit. Difficult to take it off. You can still adjust the airflow, but sometimes it wants to grab and keep the top cap a little bit. Those are some of the very few cons that I can come up with about this. I really, really do enjoy it in general. So the Haku Vena, if you want to join the group, you can join the group. The way he's been doing the lists historically with all the other Haku products, as he runs a list, which you have to sign up for, but he releases hundreds of them at a time. So it's really not difficult to get a hold of one. It's not like one of those, here's 10 atomizers and 1,000 people signs up for it, and you never, if you got my luck, you're never going to win. It's not like that. He cranks these things out really well. Make sure people that want them can have them. And that was something that I said about the Phenom too. And people were all poo-pooing that whole thing. They're like, oh yeah. He really did. He told me at the beginning he wants to make sure that anybody that wants one can get one. And I feel like he's done that because I don't know how many of the damn things he's sold, but it's been a shitload. Because I know that there's always lists running. So that is the Haku Vena. Definite 2 thumbs up from Old Langsty so far. Anyway, I'm sure we'll talk about it next week as I continue to use it. But so far, it's fucking good.
Delicioso.
I've heard the Karma's pretty good. Whoever just said that, Samsung fan said that. I heard it was pretty good, but I didn't try one. Boop, 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 boop. See what I missed when I was running on my mouth.
Boop, 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 boop.
Anything?
You got anything, Ahmed?
No, I'm tired as fuck, man. And
Agreed.
fuck today.
No, I didn't buy a basic either. That thing's. I never quite understood that one. That was a weird addy.
You know what I hate? When I got out of the subway and it's sunny outside and I feel like I just came out of a fucking dark, fucking locked off basement. I'm like, even though the subway's lit and everything, just the sun just hits you so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Would you believe that someone like me would forget their sunglasses at home a week in a row?
Yeah, that's not possible to do down here.
Oh no, yeah, I'd probably have. If I was in Florida, I would have multiple pairs, like in different places. I keep a pair at work.
Yeah, as soon as you go outside, it's like, yo, if you don't want to be in your late 30s with cataracts, you better.
Yo,
put your
cataract glasses that were swag as fuck.
Yeah, those are. Yeah.
The ones
You
that have,
are
like,
welcome, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, you did. You signed. You logged in right at the end.
I need those bipolar lenses.
Dude, we had some nasty hail over here today. Holy shit balls! People are posting
Hail?
videos about it. Yep,
Hail sucks.
like 2 inches of hail. on the ground.
Fuck.
Fucking snow.
Straight going out barefoot.
No, not here at my house. Just around town. It was
Brutal.
pretty messed up.
Can you imagine trying to run barefoot after a hailstorm and like seeing?
Oh,
that's film a game show doing that shit.
Don't ever fucking go outside in a hailstorm. That's actually for real hailstorm, not big icicles.
Yeah, no, you're gonna die.
Golf ball or bigger.
Sorry.
Golf ball or bigger, you're fucked if you go outside.
Yeah, you get knocked out, dude. You got knocked the fuck out.
Yep.
All right. Anything else? I got nothing else.
That's me. That's it.
Perfect. Hey, everybody.
Sorry, Kimmy. For just to backtrack a little, Kimmy Vapes is in chat. Welcome, Kimmy. But unfortunately, we're not going to go back to the cupcake conversation. She loves cupcakes, but we took a giant shit on cupcakes earlier. I did.
Well, hang on. So we can go back to the cupcakes because I
want to go back to cupcakes. Fuck it. Let's do it.
The frosting in the middle of the cupcake is the way to go. Why not?
I can agree with that.
Right.
Just it's like an added surprise.
But then they're gonna be like, oh, that's just like a jelly donut. But it's not.
Because it's frosting, not jelly.
Yeah. I had a teacher who hated jelly donuts, so when you brought them to her, she would throw them across the room and smash them on the back wall.
What?
I don't think I've ever been that angry at a particular kind of food.
It was like a running joke. It was like a running joke. She did it once, and people. She was an AP Spanish teacher. Yeah, I was taking AP Spanish. But because why the fuck not?
Right, you as well.
You're a dumbass. But anyways, so it was, I guess, running joke to where one time somebody brought her, jelly donuts, and she was like, just being crazy, and I hate those things. Just joking, right? Not like in real anger, and it would just hit the back wall and splatter.
Yeah.
And so what she started doing was, because the ceiling tiles were getting jelly on them, she was like, oh, well, we had a project where each person would bring in a flag from where they were, from or whatever, and they should put the flags on the ceiling to cover it up. And then, so it was funny. But so every so often, if she was in the mood and you would bring her a jelly donut, she would straight up chuck it.
Massey, do you have a soundbite handy for cake farts? You're talking about cake farts right now in the chat.
Oh, what? No. Are you serious, man?
I search for those I could search. I'm like, that's something I've never had to look up because I have shitty friends.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for allowing us a whole show off last week, but we are very glad you came back here this week. We will see you next week.
Absolutely.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
Toodaloos.
Bye.